There's this power imbalance where some of the global voices perceive themselves as, it's almost like Animal Farm. They perceive themselves as the better global citizens than the others, and that unfortunately is a long-standing issue that requires the mindset change that my panelists were speaking about. We need that complete mindset change in order for us to be able to ensure that there's seamless implementation. And there's also, and I mean, during the discussions as well, what I also found was that I found that there were certain inconsistencies. I had a very similar experience as the very first speaker, where I started off from a very high bank account, like I said, my positive bank account, and which was withdrawn as I kept on going from session to session during the G20 summit, because I saw that there was a lot of inconsistencies across host countries, but also inconsistencies within the working groups themselves. So, although the declaration itself is a very polished document, it's not as seamless as it sounds. And I see there the Eagles mentioned that there's no youth focus. I witnessed and I went into a session where the youth was extremely unhappy because what they felt like was that their inclusion within the G20 summit seemed to be a tick box exercise. So there's also a lot of that tick box exercise where we've had the summit, we've included all these marginalized communities, for example, the Khoisan and so forth, which is good because a lot of people only know the Khoisan for what happened to Sarah Bartman, but they were able to be there. But were they really given the platform to really truly voice out their issues and their challenges, and were there concrete solutions for the issues that they experience on a daily basis? And I know that as a panel, we might sound as if we are coming with questions rather than answers. But I always believe that it's a good position to be in when you're able to remove the bandage and you're able to see the wound and interrogate and give a true diagnosis from a point of authenticity and a point of honesty, so that we can really see what the issues, the true issues are in our countries, in Africa. Because if they are sugar coated, then we have a much bigger issue. If they are sugar coated and they're not reflected in these documents and in these summits, then we're going to have a much bigger issue. And I think, as cheesy as it might sound, I do agree with, because I was also looking at the comments, I do agree with Evans in the sense of what Evans said, was one of the participants here. He said, actions start with us. For me, my parting shot would be, action starts with us. We are Africans. We are capable. We have the resources. Yes, we do understand that there are major issues. There may be major issues in terms of the African Union, but the African Union is there for us to utilize. It's a start. It's a good start if they are empowered correctly, if they're empowered in the right way, in order for them to be able to implement, the Agenda 2063, then Africa will rise. For Africa can rise, and we can do it. And I will end on that cheesy note in the sense of saying that, I have a book called Perfect Landing, Wrong Airport. And I kept on thinking about how appropriate that is, because perfect landing means simply that we have all these amazing policies in place, all these ideas, these amazing policies in place, but it's a wrong airport because implementation does not reflect those policies. So it's time for Africa to rise. Thank you so much.